Hello friends. So in our last class we saw Scandinavian influence on English, and this happened towards the end of the Old English period. Say from 850 to 1042, that was the period, and it was there were three divisions you can see. First one was by isolated attacks by isolated bands, not organized. The second one was by the organized army, say under Gadaram. And then you have got the last stage is the attack, settlement, and the interactions and the intimate way of living together for a period of about 25 years. King Canute, he was the king of England. So that is the historical background that we saw. We saw the two great battles, battles of Brunanburh and battles of Malden. And these two battles, they are subject matter for Old English poem. So celebrated, the Old English period celebrated these, Old English literature celebrated these two poems. Now we see what is the extent of the influence. That is borrowing of words. See, when you say, Albert Seabough, he says that he uses two words. One is, the influence was tremendous, he says. Tremendous. Used by Albert Seabough. Another he says, it is very interesting. These are the two words that he uses. Towards the end of the lesson, towards the end of the chapter, dealing with the Scandinavian influence, he uses these two words. The influence was tremendous and it was very interesting. Now, how interesting, how far it was interesting, how far it was tremendous, it's very easy to find when you say they are. See, when you are using these two words, they are boys. When you are making a sentence like this, the 2/3 of the sentence is Scandinavian. Understand that? See the importance. That is, the are, the plural of the verb to be, is borrowed from, it is a Scandinavian word. See that? And this pronoun, plural, they, that's a Scandinavian word. Then you can understand how tremendous, as A.C. Bow says, the influence was. And interesting also, because when you are saying they are, you can think of this. Understand? So, that's a very important point to note here. And then we see, proceed, and you can see there are, see, Celtic influence, it didn't affect the form words. No form words, adjectives, verbs, nouns, and so on only. That is, we can, what we say, content words. We say content words means meaning. Form words means prepositions and so on. Prepositions, then pronouns and so on. These are what we call form words. Now these Scandinavians gave English some form words also. And even as Otto Espersen, I have quoted him somewhere now, Otto Espersen, he's a Danish linguist. He says that even in syntax and grammar, Scandinavians had their influence. He gives two examples. One is that the use of that as a relative pronoun. You say, no, this is the house that Jack built. You can omit it or you can retain it. The retention or omission of this particular pronoun, this is in accordance, this particular relative pronoun is in accordance with the usage in Scandinavia. Also, the who, the omission of who, relative pronoun. You understand? This is the man I saw. This is the man who I saw, or whom I saw. You can say, you can use that also, but at the same time, when you say, this is the man I saw, so that use, omission of the relative pronoun, syntax. In syntax, the structure, this omission of who is a Scandinavian practice. which ended into English during this period. I hope you understand. See, instead of saying, you can say like that, this is the house that Jack built. That here is a relative pronoun. Now you can use it or you can omit it. That usage, that is using it or omitting it, that is Scandinavian practice. Same with the who. Just now I have already given it. So this is what Otto Espersen says. Otto Espersen is an authority and he is a Danish philologist. Understand? Now already I have given you two examples. One is that of they and are. The interesting thing is that the Old English word were he, here, him. He, here, him. So instead of that, we got they and they. They, their, them. See these three words, them. They, their, and them. Now they, here, and yes, they, their, them. So you have it from Scandinavia. The Old English here, him. Instead of that, we have got this they, their, them. So they, their, them. That is, we are taken from the Scandinavian or borrowed from Scandinavia. So also the pronominal use of both and same. Both and same. Again, this is Scandinavian. Form words, I told you, entry of form words in English through Scandinavian, which has made English very simple. And again, you have got prepositions, to and fro. See that? When you use this, to and fro, that is Scandinavian. Look at that. So, there's a difference we can see now. A distinguishing factor of Scandinavian influence is Scandinavians supplied form words to English. Form words. The others are noun, adjective, they are content words. But these are form words. Means they don't have meaning, to, fro. What's the meaning? There's no meaning for that, but you require it. Prepositions say you require that. Both and same you require. Then they, them, there you require. They don't have a fixed meaning. That's the meaning. They doesn't have a fixed meaning. Anybody can be they. So they, them, there, etc. And also in syntax you find the influence of that is omission or retention of relative pronouns, that and who. Understand? And then what happens, and here there's another point, that is, is we go, we take, but when we say he takes, understand? Takes. This S of the third person singular present tense. When the verb is in third person singular, simple person, you have to use, you have to add an S to the end of the verb. So it takes, takes and so on. And this is the Scandinavian usage. The Scandinavians have given this usage to English. Understand? That is. So takes. So how many? In grammar, syntax and form words, etc., you will find the influence of the Scandinavian. So once again I said this is because this is a distinguishing factor. We have borrowed these things from all the Scandinavians were very generous enough or kind enough to give these words to us, this usage also, taught us this usage also. One is the singular of S at the end of words. Verbs like takes, take plus S. This S is Scandinavian. Scandinavian usage. Then you have got the prepositions to and fro. And you have got the both same. Pronouns they, them, there. There, then there. And you have other two for both same. Then the plural form of the verb to be, are. That is from Scandinavian. Then you have in syntax you have got the relative pronoun, use of the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun who, also that. Understand? That can omit or you can use it. So these are very important points to remember, because you don't have these things in Celtic. Also in Latin, do not bother much about the internal, that is the grammar of the language. It did not affect the grammar of the language. But of course, these Scandinavians did. These are examples for that, you can see. So you can see how deep, how profound was the influence of the Scandinavians on the English language. Understand? Just remember this, you are using Scandinavian words. Okay. Then he says the second area of influence is place names. This is the first. Second is place names. Remember I told you in the beginning, there are about 1,400 place names in English. That is north and east of England. Danelaw districts is called. Danelaw. Where the Danes settled, we call Danelaw districts. So in the Danelaw districts, you will find 1,400 place names, not one or two. Place names, for example, you can see not place names, I already have told you London. That is a Scandinavian word, London. Understand? So here you can see some Scandinavian words which have ended into as part of the place names in English. Entered into English as part of the place names in English. For example, you have got a B, B-Y-B. You know, bylaw comes from there. Bylaw. Bylaw means town law, that's all. Because in Scandinavian, by means town. Town, by. You have got words like Derby, with B, Rugby, Grimsby. See that? Grimsby. Grimsby, Rugby, Derby, Derby, Whitby. See, these are English place names. The second, but the last part you can see, that is, what is that is a Scandinavian element. And the Scandinavian element means town. So Grimsby means Grimstown. Whitby, Whittown. So bylaw means town's law. Understand? So that is one B. Then the another one is another common, very common you can see. Ending is Thorpe. And Thorpe means you have got Thorpe means a village. Thorpe. That's Scandinavian meaning village. We have got place names like Althorpe, Bishop's Thorpe, then Gotthorpe, Linthorpe. You have got Althorpe, Bishop's Thorpe, Gotthorpe. That means village, that's all, village. Linthorpe, Linthorpe means village. These are, Thorpe is a Scandinavian element that has entered into place names. See? The other day I told you about Bath, you know, Bath, Allahabad, Aurangabad, Faridabad, Secondrabad, Hyderabad. See, there is influence of the Mughals. Wherever you that Bath is, wherever you find a Bath, that means it is the word that has been borrowed, or we can say used by the Mughals, but presently now it is used by us. That is Hindi, as in the Hindi language, so we can say Hindi language has borrowed these things from the Mughals. Hyderabad, he said. Like this. Althorpe, Bishopthorpe, Gawthorpe, Linthorpe, and so on. So, the third element that you find is, you have the Thwaite means, it means a piece of land. Thwaite means a piece of land. That is Scandinavian piece of land. You have got Applethwaite, you have got Braithwaite, Cooperthwaite, Applethwaite, Brathwaite, Cooperthwaite. So sometimes you will ask me, sir, where will we find out this? You see, next time when you go to England, some of you will be going to England, So after IELTS, after passing IELTS for jobs and so on, or visiting your relatives, you can ask your relatives in England, say that where is this Bishopsthorpe, where is this Gawthorpe, where is Brathwaite, Cooperthwaite, and so on. We can get. And next one is Toft. Toft means, again, it is also a piece of land. Thwaite means also piece of land. Piece of land means the difference between Thwaite and Toft is, Toft means, Toft is a piece of land, P-A-E-C, piece of land. But here a piece of land but isolated, that's the difference. Isolated piece of land. This is piece of land. See? And then you can see you have got words like what do you call East Toft, Lang Toft, Lowestoft, East Toft, Lang Toft, and East Toft, Lang Toft. You have got then you have a Lowestoft, and so on. So here, this is equivalent to our Bath. I told just now I gave you the example of Bath. So that is this. Thus we have got 1,400 place names, which bears maybe the whole thing is Scandinavian, or each place name bears part of a Scandinavian word. Part is a Scandinavian word. As Lang Toft, Brathwaite, etc. Understand? So the first one we have seen, the second one is this, place name. And the third is personal names. That's very interesting. Personal names. You have got 3 personal names. Personal names also you will find part of it is Scandinavian. For example, son, this ending son, it's Scandinavian. Jackson, Paulson, see that? Jackson, Paulson, Johnson, see? Ben Johnson, see? The son is a Johnson. This one is Scandinavian. Jackson, Scandinavian. Paulson, Scandinavian. So personal names also different. And this of course you can find plenty in India of this Mughal influence on the Hindi language. Names of persons, isn't it? You will find that plenty. Without my giving an example, you know it much better than me. So for example, when you have got, and those names are, of course, we can see they are a special kind of names. See, for example, we have got that is Aurangzeb. That Aurangzeb is. So these are this proclaims, you can say, the influence of the Mughals on the Indian languages, not only Indian. And then the fourth is words relating to law, so administration. So we have seen words Form words we saw, at least you can remember they, them, there, are, to, fro, both same. Though, that is, though is another word, though. Form words, though. This word though. See that? Though he came late, he became the master. Though, in spite of that, this is the. Then place names, we have already told you, London is a place name, York is a place name, then you have got part of it, like Toft, Bee, Thwaite and Thorpe. These are Scandinavian names that has become part of English place names. 1,400 also. Personal names you can say son, very simple. Jackson, Michael Jackson, that is very famous. You can. Ben Johnson, Johnson is okay. Then you have got the personal names, you say administration. See, the very word law, L-A-W, that is boldly lifted from Scandinavia. Understand? That is law. Hosting, say, that is assembly. Hosting. Hosting means assembly. Then another wapentake. Wapentake means a district. That's what. Wapentake. That means a district. So these are some words relating to administration. This only I am just giving you only. We are already tasting. Plenty of this I can give, but that I think that I will be creating problems for you. Those who are interested in finding out all this, you have got a very good dictionary. See, that is edited by Wright, the editor of English Dialect Dictionary. There is a dictionary called English Dialect Dictionary, edited by Wright. You can see. You can look up and find out number of words, large number of words. So that you can see. Thousands of them, not one or two. Thousands of them. And of course, then you have got the content words. Content words. The fifth category is content words. That means nouns and adjectives and so on. Nouns, adjectives. See, you have got words like, you have got words band. Bang is bang, B-A-N-K, bang. When you go to bang, you should know this is birth. Birthday celebration. When you say birth, that is Scandinavian. Bang is Scandinavian. Understand? Kid, when you call somebody kid, that is Scandinavian. You have got skill. Egg is Scandinavian. You are taking egg in for breakfast. Fellow. When you say fellow students, that is Scandinavian. These are nouns. Then you have got adjectives. Awkward. Awkward is flat, ill, low, meek, weak. These are adjectives. Meek is very meek, very weak. Meek person is very weak person. You can say ill, low level of understanding. Flat, you can say, and awkward. And then you have got verb called give and take. Easily you can remember. Give is Scandinavian, take is Scandinavian. So when you say give and take, then you are using two Scandinavian words. Understand? Call somebody, call. Then glitter, all that glitters is not gold. So glitter, that is Scandinavian. So a cast, that is Scandinavian. So you have got a number of them. That is content words, nouns, very easy to remember. As well as bank, nouns. You can say nouns, bank, birth. See, then you have got words like a fellow as window is one. Window. When you open your window, think of this. It is Scandinavian. Fellow is Scandinavian. Noun. Then you have got adjectives. Adjectives awkward. Then meek, weak, ill, low. These are adjectives. Verbs, you have verbs. Give, very easy to remember. Take, then call, cast. These are castaway. Castaway is call, cast, give. Glitter, etc. These are form words. So how many categories now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 categories of words. And then you have got words relating to their life. They were seafarers, so sea life they have. For example, Barda, war and sea life, war, battle. 6th is the category battle. Battle, war, sea life. Navy, no, they were experts, no? Yes. Then sea roving and so on. Barda means a big ship. Barda, B-A-R-D-A, Barda. Batswagen means boatsman. Batswagen. See, Batswagen. You may ask me, why am I not clearing this board? Because you get a picture of the whole thing. That's it. It is not for confusing you, it is for helping you. Batswagen. That means boatsman. Orust. Orust means battle. Orust. Battle. Of course, we don't use this name. Philsian. Another word is Philsian. F-Y. Philsian. Means to collect a force. Zero. So half a dozen areas you have borrowed words. It's only the tip of an iceberg. I told you. Thousands of words. As Mr. Wright, the editor of English Dialect Dictionary, has testified. Thousands and thousands of words. Imagine 25 years of rule by the Scandinavians, and they are settling side by side. Both in some cases, what happened, that's also very interesting. That is, these some Scandinavian words and some side by side, some English words, they existed side by side. That's also another interesting thing. So you have got 2 words like this. Two words having the same meaning. Understand? Pairs having the same meaning. That's also one of the advantages of the Scandinavian, or benefits of the Scandinavian influence. So that is, you can see, so you have half a dozen areas of life, or you can say half a dozen areas from which the Scandinavians have English. The English language has borrowed words from English language. Borrowed words means English speaking people. They borrowed words from Scandinavian speaking people. Understand? So you also have synonyms for English, and also that's another interesting area of the Scandinavian influence on English. So altogether we can see the Scandinavian influence, as I have already told you, as A.C. Bauer has said, is tremendous and it is very interesting. The way the 2 races assimilated, the way the 2 languages assimilated, the way 2 languages borrowed in a give and take situation, give and take, a give and take atmosphere, environment we can say. So that is really interesting. So with this we come to the end of the Old English period. We started in 450, now up to 1150, that is the period. And we have seen the areas now. We saw this Old English. What is after Old English? Who are the founders of Old English? Founders of Old English is the Anglo-Saxons and Jews. What was the language spoken before that in England? Celtic. So the language of the inhabitants of English, we can say, that is Celtic. Now this is language, it's a foreign language brought by Anglo-Saxons. They came, they settled, they had their heptarchy, 7 kingdoms, and then you know the 4 dialects, Northumbrian, Mercian, Kentish and West Saxon dialects, is that. So all the 4 together you get Old English. So Old English is not a uniform language. It existed. Old English existed in the form of dialects. Remember that. Then founders of English nation, Anglo-Saxon, and founders of the English language also Anglo-Saxons, isn't it? And then we saw the characteristics of Old English. We saw the spelling, we saw the vocabulary, we saw the grammar mainly. How Old English grammar is distinguished from modern English grammar. Full of inflections. We have seen different nouns had inflections, then verbs have inflection, or you can say conjugation for verbs, adjectives, then personal pronouns, and also you have got this personal pronouns, adjectives, and you remember adjectives, personal pronouns, nouns, then one more word, articles. Yes. So he had a fully inflected language. So in a way, you know, the Scandinavians had that influence also on English. That is loss of inflection. Helped the loss of inflections in English. So when you come to Middle English, you will know that most of this inflection have been. So just now I told you an example of the pronoun. So they, them, there. So that's all. That's the end of it. Nothing more than that. That is not like the Old English, you know, that table you remember, I suppose. No? He, here, him, and so on. No? Okay. So that is about inflection. Then we saw the Old English, the characteristics of Old English vocabulary, the special features of Old English vocabulary, and then we saw the Old English literature. So you had got two streams, pagan and Christian. In pagan you have got Beowulf, and in Christian we have got, and also you have got prose, English prose. Who is the founder of English prose? King Alfred. So these are the things that we saw. And then we come to, and that is also the age of troubadours, or you can say minstrels. They went around and they were singing songs like ballads. No? Yes, there you saw Battle of Brunanburg, Battle of Malden, and so on. Right? Also you saw this great brother who was enlightened while he was asleep, Cadman. All the scriptures, he wrote hymns based on scripture. So you have two streams, that is one pagan and the other is the Christian. So, and afterwards we come to know, so this you can say about the internal history of the language. Now you have got the external history of the language, these influences. You have Celtic influence, Latin influence, three periods. One is your first one is Zero period or continental borrowings, that is when the Anglo-Saxons were in their continental homes, they came into contact with the Latin-speaking people, simply I can say in simple language, Romans. Understand? To complicate the matter, I can say Latin-speaking people. That is Romans. Then when the Anglo-Saxons came to England, it was already Romanized. And some words were borrowed by the Celts. And these Celts transmitted this to English. So there is a Latin through Celtic transmission of first period, and then you have the second period. Again you have got there are two streams. One is that of say the Christianizing of Britain. Christianizing of Britain is very important as far as this is concerned. The other stream already we have seen, Latin through Celtic transmission and so on. But Christianizing also has, you have got two sections. One is the you remember the anecdote. Pope Gregory sent a team of Gregory sent Augustine. He was not Saint Augustine when he came to England, but after his death he was canonized. And 40 monks, you remember that, I told you the story of all those things. Angels, then they are under the wrath of God and so on. So they should be saved. They look like angels, see. So the Pope took special interest, and these people came there. Church, the influence of church means education institution, monastic life, libraries, schools, and so on. So as a result of that, many words under the English. Then you have got the church, decline of the church, and then the revival by Bishop Oswald and so on. You remember I told you about Bishop Oswald, 3 bishops, and the Benedictine monks. So it's known as the Benedictine Reform. See that? So more words ended in Latin. Now we come towards the end of the Old English period. We have another foreign influence, that is Scandinavian, and just now we have described all those things. I think it's very clear to you, and you have been enjoying my classes about Old English. Now in the next we will be taking a Middle English period, where you have got the most interesting part of Middle English period is the loss of inflection, how it happened and so on. We will see soon. Okay? So till then, bye, have a nice time, you enjoy your life, take interest in learning the history of the language. Just as you will like to, it is DNA written, I must say. That is genetically powered. See, why are you so much interested in going back to your family, say your great-grandfather and the origin of your family, the origin of say the branches of your family, uncles, aunts and things like that. And then finally there will be annual meetings of your family, isn't it? Family get together and so on. Why? Because you are interested in finding out who were our ancestors and things like that. Just like that. When you are doing IELTS or IELTS for that matter, it is pronounced as IELTS, it is an acronym. So when you are doing it, you should be naturally curious enough to find out what is the history of this language. At least some idea about it. So I have given you some idea about this and I hope that you have enjoyed it. So I would again request you, it is one of the supports you get for your studies. So don't forget to subscribe. Subscription is for you as well as for me. It's good for you because you will not miss a single lecture of mine, because this is a series now. So it is it's a continuous process. I am not going to stop here at Old English period. I will be taking Middle English, early Modern English, the makers of English language like Shakespeare, the Bible, translators of the Bible, and Milton and so on. So they are makers of Joseph's English, Shakespeare's English, Milton's English, the Bible translators English, how these people have contributed to the growth of the English language, Renaissance, influence of Renaissance, see? And then you can appeal to authority, that is Dr. Johnson and his dictionary, lots of things you will be studying. So I humbly request you to subscribe so that you don't miss my classes. Okay? So we will be taking your Middle English soon. Till then, bye.